Greetings everyone and welcome to my channel. I'm Lady Starfire and I'm here to bring you some more witchy tips. Today I'm going to take a break from the spell line and bring you some information. I had some questions, some on my channel, some off, and so thought it was time to, maybe cover this topic. I know I think I've got bits and pieces in other ones, but we're going to dedicate this one to deities and other entities that we work with, okay, and how we work with them, what we need to do or maybe not do, okay. So, I'm not going to go in depth about each one, because they're all kind of generally the same in a lot of ways, because it just depends on who you work with and what your focus is. If you're draconic, your main thing is dragons, not other deities, okay. So anyway, let's just kind of cover some of the basics of things. So, all right, so whether you work with gods and goddesses, loas, orishas, dragons, gargoyles, griffins, or even little fairies, okay? And yes, there's lots of other things out there. So, and even if you are just simply calling on the Lord and the Lady, or Mother Earth, Father Sky, doesn't matter what you want to call your deity or other entities that you work with that you call on to help you and stuff, okay? Yes, with some there are some rules. With all of them, there is one main thing, which is showing reverence. And, we don't have to humble ourselves and we don't have to kneel before them and things like you do in certain other religions. But they want to be honored, and treated with respect. It's like you don't do hey, yo, come here, or hey, what you doing, goddess? We don't do that, okay? Now, my husband is draconic, and yes, I have seen him when he calls certain dragons, I believe it's usually the female dragons, for quarters and things like that, he kneels. I don't know if all do, if it's just men that kneel for the women, out of respect. But it's a kneel on one knee type thing, but as he calls them. Like I said, I'm not draconic. My husband is. I know a little bit, but I do work with dragons. Now, working with dragons, if you never have, understand there's a big difference in being draconic and following the path of the dragon and working with them, okay? My husband follows the path of the dragons, and I work with dragons. Yeah, their chatter is a bit too much for me at times. They are very, very demanding. So if you think that's the path you want to go on, you better be ready, because it is not an easy one at all. But working with them can be great because they're great protectors and things of the sort. But like I said, they're very demanding. So be ready, okay? Gargoyles. Those are my babies. Gargoyles are cousins to dragons. They are protectors, okay? They, as a general rule, are not playful like young dragons can be, Now, they can be playful to a degree unless you've called on them to come and protect. And if that's the case, leave them alone. Don't be all giddy and acting silly and doing all kinds of weird stuff, because, they're not going to like it. And it's a very simple thing of, you brought us here to protect. Do you want us to protect, or do you want us to leave because we're not a show type thing? Okay. So, but I honestly don't know if you can choose them. They chose me. Yes, if you're drawn to them, then it's usually, because they are choosing you. Okay. So, but they are great protectors. They're not demons. A lot of people think because they made them look grotesque, and they call them grotesque when they put them on buildings in other countries and stuff. You know, they were put there as protectors to scare away evil things. Of course, when the Christian thing came around, they immediately, oh, they're demons and stuff. No, they were there to scare away demons and other things that wanted to try to cause harm, okay? So they come all kinds of shapes. I mean, this one's a cute little one. This one has the bird, you know, look. They look all sorts of ways, and then that's fine. And they, you know, you choose, you know, the one that calls you. I have a whole I finally found a place I could get gargoyles, so I have a whole huge display of different gargoyles now. So yeah, I love them all, and I'd have them all out here if I had room. So I have to get some more shelves. But anyway, so gargoyles are protectors, and yes, we can call on them to protect us. Once again, honor, respect, humility. They, you know, are things that are very, very important. Okay. Most anything you call on, you know, a lot of times there's something in return for them to come, okay? Also, I have a griffin here, okay? He usually sits back here. And so griffins are another protector and yet another cousin to all of these, okay? So, you know, we have fairies, you know. Now, a lot of people just refer to them as the fae. Fae and fairies are two different things, people, okay? Fairies are these cute little guys, okay? And they flitter around. They steal your stuff if you don't give to them, if they're helping you. Always, always, always make sure that if you have fairies about, always make sure that you give them things. Because if they're around, they're normally going to be helping you in some manner. So make sure that you put out shinies for them. They, you know, they love crystals and shiny pennies and just anything that's sparkly, glitter. Okay. So you can, if you're allowing them in your house, keep you a bowl that you put things in for them. If you're trying to make sure they're outside, then set up a space for them out there. Okay. And that's where you put their stuff and you give them food. They love bread with honey or butter and honey. You know, make it into some small pieces and put it out there for them. You know, this is how we show thanks. All right. So, you know, I show thanks to my gargoyles by loving on them and, you know, having statues. What you have to understand is they will, things like gargoyles and dragons and stuff, they will come and reside in these. Okay, that's why you'll notice them moving sometimes all on their own, or so to seem. Okay, so and some of them do like to, you know, play tricks. I've got some big ones on the walkway while, you know, heading to my door, and one of them in particular, when the kids were young, especially, used to have fun with them because he would growl or snicker or something as they walked by, and it's like what, you know. And I had some at my other shop that, you know, used to do stuff like that to people. So, you know, they can be little tricksters, okay? But that's just their way of showing love and having some fun, okay? Because otherwise they're just there guarding all the time. So, you know, just remember to speak to them and show them love and care and all that and appreciation and thanks. Thanks, okay? I can't say that one enough. So, now, gods and goddesses. Now, I did 2 videos, one on gods and one on goddesses. Granted, it's supposed to be my husband's class, and he teaches it much better than I do, but can't get him to redo it yet. Anyway, but it explains some things about the DNA of them, okay? It doesn't matter what name. It does matter what pantheons you're in, okay? Because they do have different energies. So, you know, it's like if you're going to work with Odin, you want to stay in that pantheon. You just really, really do. There are some that are okay because it depends on what lineage they are. That's kind of the main thing, is staying in the right lineages. You know, and it's like if you're new, please don't be, you know, choosing crone goddesses. You know, don't go to Inanna and Hecate and even Isis, some of the ones that are, even though she may be more of a mother, but she's been around a while. So, be careful, start with gods and goddesses that are on, the same, I don't want to say level, same path that you are. So like if you are a rogue or a maiden, then you need to go to those, level, the younger ones that help you along that path. Okay. If you are a mother or you're at the mothering age, okay, and you're kind of done with a frolicking around, you don't ever, lose it all, but you're ready to be more settled and more nurturing. Maybe you're a caregiver, then, you may be time for you to move on to, a more of a mother goddess and father god and, that sort of thing. And that's fine. Now some areas like here, we actually do rituals. We do a maidening rite and a motherhood rite and a croning, and we do a rove, right. I think the men do more of a rite of passage. So it's a rove, father, sage. And there's also warriors for both sides. So, it's a matter of, what you want and where you're at with things. Okay. And you don't have to have a god or goddess at all. It can be Mother Earth. It can just be Lord and Lady with no name. And that's okay too. Okay. The most important thing is that we honor them. Okay. It's just really important that if you're going to work on something and you're going to call on them to come and help you and guide you and everything, that you honor them. Give thanks, give food, give wine, give, whatever. Okay. But it's honoring. Now, if you're trying to work with Loas or Orishas, now that's another whole thing. You need to really, really, really know what you're doing. It's not something to play with. Okay. We don't play with voodoo and Santeria. We don't play really with any of it, but there are some that are a little more strict than others. Okay. So if you're going to work with them, and I don't have any of my statues out here because they're too big to try to put on here that I make. You can go back and watch my video, the inside of my store, get on my Facebook, you'll find pictures. So anyway, with them, you have to really know how to listen. Okay. So that you know what they want in return for things that they do for you. Okay. So that's not one to just go, I think I want to try that. No, we don't try that one. We don't just try that one without some kind of proper training. Okay. There's certain ways you have to get started, certain things you have to do. And it's not for the faint of heart. Okay. So you really need to be able to, have a clear understanding, and please don't get it off of social media at all. Okay. So anyway, all right. So now I also had the question about invoking and evoking. All right. Now I think I covered this somewhere in a video over something, but anyway, I want to cover it here because we're talking about deities and stuff. Invoking means you're calling that deity into you. Okay. We don't call dragons, gargoyles, griffins, fairies, and all that. We do not invoke them at all, ever. Okay. We do if you know what you're doing, and it's a god and goddess that you work with. Okay. So for women, you're going to be invoking the goddess, unless you're very masculine and you want the god, but warning, it's kind of weird. I've had it done. So, but you take, it's a invoking, and there's words that go with it. I'm not going to teach that on here right now. I think it's in one of my class books. It may be first degree where I actually teach you how to invoke. But, you call them, all right, and ask them to speak through you, okay? And this is only done in ritual. Don't do this sitting around your house or at a party, or, they won't come anyway. Or if they do, you're not going to like it. So, because what you want to do is, like I said, in ritual, it is done so that they speak through you to the people in your circle. Is the main reason for invoking. Okay. So, evoking, and like I said, God, of course, the men, but evoking means I want you to come here in my circle. Okay. I want you to come be present with me here. Now you can use dragons and gargoyles and, archangels and whoever to come and guard your circle. Okay. That's your quarters that you call. And it is perfect. Any of them, you can use them to call there. I wouldn't use fairies. You'd have a very chaotic circle. I've had fairies end up in my circles before, and oh my gosh, I can't say anything straight, and it's just laughter. Nothing gets done. So yeah, I would not use fairies, okay? But you use, like I said, you want something huge, and that, I like things that have big wings so that they stretch from, each quarter over here, the half quarters. That's the word. So that they meet, and it just creates this whole protective space. Okay. But you're calling them into the circle still. You're asking them to come and protect. Or if you want dragons running around your circle, then you evoke them. You call them into the circle. Okay. They're just not something that we try to call into us. Number one, they ain't gonna go anyway. They're gonna look at you and go, really? You think I'm gonna fit in? You think I want in there? No. Okay, so don't even try. All you'll do is tick them off, and then they probably won't be back around to help you. At least not for a while. You'll have a lot of making up to do if you do that. So, but the main thing is to understand the different ones. You need to understand all the different gods and goddesses. You need to understand the different entities out there that we work with, and who they are and what they want and how they work, okay, and what they expect out of you. All right. So it's not just, oh, I think I want to do this today. Don't do that, okay? So anyway, while we're talking, don't forget, please click that like button and the subscribe if you haven't, and leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about all this, and if you have other questions, okay? If there's something I didn't cover here that you still want to know about, let me know. I'll answer you, or if I need to, I'll make another video. All right, so, and I need video ideas. What do y'all want? Pop it down there and tell me what things that you would like for me to do a video on. And by the way, if you hear noise in the background, I think my mower guy is out there. So anyway, sorry about that, but there's nothing I can do about it. I'm going to finish my video. So anyway, just remember, people, that they're here to help us. They are not here to serve us. Okay? If anything, we're here to serve them. To keep them alive. Keep that energy alive. Because if nobody calls on them, they're not going to cease to exist, but nobody's learning, and nobody likes to be forgotten. Okay. So just remember, there are a lot of goddesses. There are a lot of gods. Okay. There's jillions of dragons and gargoyles and griffins and fairies and gnomes and all of those things. Okay. There's lots of things out there, and there's lots of things that can help you. There's lots of things you don't want to call on. Okay. So anyway, I guess since it has gotten so noisy, because I know it is for me, so I'm sure you're hearing it too, I'm going to wrap this up. If you have questions, please, once again, pop it down there and share my videos, please. I greatly appreciate it. And I think in my last video, I actually misspoke. Lisa, thank you for becoming a member. The way that they put it on there, I thought it said super like. But anyway, I do appreciate y'all for, clicking the join and becoming a member of my channel. I appreciate you for clicking that super like. All of it really does help me. And I appreciate you more than words can say. So anyway, y'all, okay, I'm going to wrap it up. Tell me what else you want. Pop it down there. Give me ideas on my videos. And until the next time, everyone, please have a wonderful day. And if you're watching this during the summer while it's so hot, please stay cool and hydrated, okay? So until the next time, love to all. Bless you, babe.